Hey, and hopefully after this video I can help at least one person. These things are stupid easy to culture, and it's going to provide you with a good source of live food. If you have the space, I highly recommend culturing your own Daphnia. The following will be my documentation of the progression of my personal Daphnia culture, the ups, the downs, what I learned. I just want to document it all. I feed my Daphnia to an array of different freshwater fish. I have yet to find a fish that does not have an appetite when I put Daphnia into this tank. In the following video, I'm going to be talking about my build, how much water I keep them in, my plans for improvement, the importance to a backup culture, and then I'll end it with pros and cons for culturing Daphnia. I currently run my main Daphnia culture in a recycled IBC tote. I gave it a scrub and a wash, and it was good to go. These totes could be used for many DIY projects, and it's doing great for my Daphnia right now. This tote in particular can hold around 275 gallons of water, but I have it filled to about 150 gallons. You can culture your Daphnia in pretty much any type of container that holds water. I want to make it clear that I'm not telling you to go out and buy an IBC tote, even though it might be a good idea. You can house these in anything that works for you. A 40-gallon fish tank, 30, 20, 150, any size fish tank. A barrel, 15, 30-gallon barrels. Literally anything that holds water. You can house Daphnia in there. I mainly want to share how I interpreted the internet's directions on how to culture Daphnia. I've probably watched every Daphnia video on YouTube, even the ones that I don't understand what they're saying because they're talking in Filipino. I really hope somebody watching this video has experienced the same thing. Please comment down below if you've ever watched a video and not understand what they were saying but still watched it so you can absorb as much information as you can possibly absorb. One of the main changes I'm going to do to my main culture of Daphnia is I'm going to add an aeration stone. I've heard mixed opinions on whether or not an aeration stone makes a difference. I've run my own tests, and yes, it does make a difference. I mean, it's only logical that a sea crustacean, a living organism, is more prolific if it has more oxygen, if the water is more aerated. I mean, you don't need to make it like a crazy typhoon type aeration, but like some aeration is better than no aeration. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt. You don't have to do what I do, but I'm just showing you what works for me. Right now you're going to watch me harvest some Daphnia. My technique is not flawless, but it works. At first I thought if I scoop really fast, I can catch a lot of Daphnia, but I figured out that it kind of spins them around and shoots them away from your net. Figure out what kind of net you want to use. I'm just using a fine fish net, but you can go with a fine mesh net. Slow scoops throughout the water column. You should be able to see the Daphnia and you should be able to slowly scoop them into the net. In this clip you'll also see that I try to use a sieve to separate the larger Daphnia from the smaller one because I only wanted to harvest the smaller one so that the adults can continue to reproduce. But unfortunately the product doesn't work the way that I want, and I have to figure out another way to separate the sizes of Daphnia. Here's me unboxing it real quick. I got it from Amazon. It wasn't on Prime, so it took a little longer. Came with some free brine shrimp. I believe the company is Brine Shrimp Direct. I wouldn't really recommend purchasing this product, but I'm sure their eggs are really good. This thing probably sifts through the sizes of brine shrimp pretty well, but for my Daphnia, it's way too small. It's very important to create a backup culture. As you can see, all I did was collect some Daphnia from my main culture, add it to a new body of water that's dechlorinated or has aged water in it, and then just let them reproduce. I'm going to feed it afterwards. I typically feed my Daphnia dried yeast that I blend up with a hand blender. I purchased this 1 pound bag for about $11.23. I blend the yeast flakes up with some old pond water until it gets frothy, and then I add it to the culture, and I know it's time to feed again when the water clears up. To wrap this video up, I just wanted to list a couple pros and cons that come along with cultivating your own Daphnia. I have 3 pros for you guys today. Number 1 is going to be costs. I'm feeding these Daphnia dried yeast. I paid $11 for a pound, and that pound's going to last me a long time. And as long as you be careful not to overfeed them, they shouldn't crash. Second one would have to be versatility. It's not designed for any one fish, it's designed for all fish. All fish can utilize it, all fish will benefit from it. Last and final pro for this video is going to be promotes breeding. Typically, an abundance of live food promotes breeding. So if you tried everything and you really can't get your fish to breed on their own, try giving them more live food. Try culturing some Daphnia if you aren't already. I guess the only con I can really think of would have to be space. But even then, you utilize the space that you have. So you adapt and you use a container that's going to fit the available space. Okay, everyone, thanks for tuning in. So I'm going to update this series with more episodes on my Daphnia culture, how it goes, the crashes along the way, the ups, the downs, everything. Alright, thanks. Go ahead and subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it.